at the last match between Manchester United and Galatasaray. So, all right, guys, what do you have to say?
Yeah. So I feel like I had high hopes when we went to play that match. I felt like we were going to win, but honestly, I don't know what's wrong with the club, but I know who is wrong with the club. So
Okay, what do you mean by who is wrong with the club?
uh, I feel like they should that's Onana of a keeper should be sacked.
Oh, okay. Do you feel same way, Clement?
Emmanuel, I would disagree with you on that because when you look at the beginning of the season, last season, for instance, we had David here, and we all know that David is a very good goalkeeper. And whether we like it or not, David is, they call him Dave Save because he's a very good saver and he saved us on many occasions. But you see, when it comes to the new coach, one of the problems we've had over time is that we've had coaches that were not, they were not solidly backed by the club, the board members, and everyone in the team. So, but now we can see that, we have a coach that the board members, everyone is buying into the idea. Yes, will it be shaky at the beginning? Definitely. But I think it's very vital that as fans, as followers, that we be patient because if we go against this coach at this time, I tell you, we don't even know what the next coach will look like. So I think it's very vital that we're patient with Onana. Onana is a very good keeper of his feet, which is what the coach wants. Then let's support the coach, and then we'll see how it moves from there. But don't let us be quick to criticize and say they should drop the keeper. No, let's still give him time.
We'll
He's
keep
just
losing.
adapting to a new league.
We'll keep losing, we'll keep
So,
losing.
so Ima is saying the more chances we give to Ten Hag, the more Manchester United loses. Ibrahim, do you feel same way?
In my own opinion, I didn't feel the same way. I think um, Manchester United at this moment needs time in terms of the goalkeeper is new to Premiership. And if we critically look at our Manchester United previous experience about goalkeeper, if Manchester United brings a new keeper, it really takes time for the keeper to key in or to adapt to Manchester United team. I felt Onana is a good keeper, and he just needs time to adapt to Premiership style of play and eventually Manchester United as a team. So it needs time. So just give him time to adapt to the team. I believe he will do well. But regardless, the defense also contributes a lot to keeper's effort. So right now also Manchester United is really struggling with their defense, which is also a very key role. But as we get on, we will see the match highlights. We will pick some points from there that we can deliberate on it.
Okay. Thank you, Ibrahim. So for me, I would say, like Ibrahim mentioned, Onana is being used by Ten Hag and not being benched because he does what the keeper wants. Sorry, not the keeper now, the coach wants. So every coach has a style of play, and then only those who who have that vision or who key into that vision definitely enjoy the coach, right? And then play under the coach. So if you are arrogant, you as an attacker, you don't want to fall back to mark to assist the defense in tackling, right? So and then Ten Hag wants that. You might not have a playing time in that team, right? So for Onana has probably done something or is doing something right during training, right? That's why Ten Hag keeps playing him, right? And then they have a history Is it from PSV or Ajax? Ten Hag and Ajax, yeah. Ajax, Ten Hag and Onana. So they've actually come a long way, and they know Ten Hag knows the potential Onana has. So, but before we talk more about that, let's quickly look at the lineup for last Champions League game between Manchester United and Galatasaray. So let's see that. Yeah. Let's come up to your screen now. Let's see.
When I saw that lineup, I was confident that we were going to win. Ah, it's really painful.
So as you can see on your screen, we have, what's the name? We can see the lineup, right? The Manchester United lineup. We have Onana, the number one guy in the goal post, and then we have Lindelof and Varane. And then you can see Maguire on the bench. Maguire used to be like a solid rock for the Manchester United team before now. What happened?
Yeah, I still feel like we need Maguire in that back line. I still feel like we need him.
Okay, why do you feel that?
Maguire is the kind of player that knows how to coordinate the defense line. He knows how to say it's time to keep offside trap. Be careful about this. But for Lindelof and Varane, there's nobody that has that authority to control the entire defense line. So you see us everywhere, and I think that costs us third goal that they scored against us. So I feel like Maguire is, when he's decent, we play very well.
Okay, Clement.
I think I would disagree with you, Emmanuel, on that. When you look at the lineup on the screen, you see that before this particular match, we've always had Casemiro being the one who sits deep. And if you look at this match, you see that there's a twerk in the tactics by Ten Hag, which before he always have the double pivots into attack to make the attack 5-man attack rather than 4-man. But we see here that in trying to solidify the midfield, he played Mount deeper than he usually plays him. And I think playing like this created a hole in the midfield because it gave Casemiro an assurance that he's not the only one in the midfield. Therefore, he has a license to move forward and come back. But you see here that Mount was not coming back enough as he should. Mount was also going forward like usual, so which created a hole in midfield. And that particular Mount was moving forward because he believed that, okay, we have Amrabat in the team. Now, Amrabat coming into the midfield makes the midfield overload. But what happens on the left-hand side? So when these players move forward, even Casemiro himself moves forward, knowing fully well that, oh, Amrabat can do the job when I'm not there. But what happens to the left-hand side? So when Amrabat moves forward, Lindelof tries to cover for that angle, and then Varane is left exposed. So that is the challenge. So I think it's very vital that the coach, if you're going to play a 3-man defense to accommodate Amrabat as one of your midfielders, then let it be so that you will know that players like Casemiro will know that it is their responsibility to drill towards the right-hand side and assist Dalot on that side, and also for Mount to drill to the left-hand side and assist Lindelof, so that we know that we are playing these midfielders like fullbacks, so that it will help improve the team, the way we defend, because our defense was just all over the place in our last game. So I think to some extent, it's just we have the personalities that can do the job, but I don't think that it's very vital that the coach get the tactics right for me. Thank you.
Okay, then that's a good one, Clement. And then looking at the substitutes, right? We can see good guys on the bench aside Maguire. We can see Marshall, we can see Ericsson, we can see Garnacho, we can see Anthony, we can see even John Evans and McTominay, right? And then so this brings up another question. Why Marshall on the bench? And then we have Mejbri. Where's this guy from?
Yeah, so for Mejbri, Medjugorje is a player that we bought for £9 million at the age of 16. That is to tell you the kind of potential the guy has. So
are you saying that Ten Hag came into this game to gamble?
no, he did not come into this game to gamble. If you've been following through with Manchester United match from the beginning of the season till now, you will see that with the team sheet, we see that we have the names, we have the personalities, but we see that they are not getting the job done on the pitch, which is a problem for the coach because the coach, if there are bad results, if you have it consistently, the coach is gone, the player remains. So he has to ensure that he reshuffles the team in order for him to be able to get the desired results that he needs to get to ensure that his job is safe. So Medjugorje is a very good player. I tell you, at age 16, we bought him for £9 million. I think from Monaco or thereabouts. So he's a very good player with a very high prospects. So when you look at players like Martial, for instance, Martial is like egg. Martial doesn't even stay 2 months without injury. So you can't rely on him. That's why we went to buy Hojland. To have a striker that you can rely upon on a long time and a long period. You have Ericsson. We all know that yes, since the World Cup survival issues that happened to him, you know that Ericsson, you just have to manage him. But we know that he's a very intelligent player. You understand? But on the aspect of players like Garnacho, I think player like Garnacho should be given more chance because Rashford has not really been himself lately.
I
But at the
agree with
same
that.
time,
Thank you for saying that,
I agree
Clement.
with that.
I agree with that also. So, but there's another name that is missing on this list, Sancho. Is Sancho an injury? Why is he not? Why is not in the starting level? Why is not in the substitutes? Emmanuel.
Yeah, so I feel like after the fallout that Sancho had with Ten Hag, where he wrote some stuff that he said has been happening to him, and he feels like he's a scapegoat. So I feel like Sancho should have apologized to the coach, but I feel like he has not done that, and that's why you are not seeing him on the lineup. But I think he has eventually apologized, or he hopes to apologize or something like that. But I feel like Sancho is not serious about football. If not, he wouldn't joke with his career. He would put away his pride and, I mean, just apologize to the coach.
Why would you say that a player that was one of the best in his world during his time at Dortmund and then coming to Manchester United just went down the pecking order? Would you say Manchester United is a giant slayer?
No, I would say he was playing in Farmers League. He was playing
Wow.
he was signing in a league where, I mean, there was no pressure at all in that league compared to Premier League, and then not just Premier League, you're in Manchester United. So I feel with the pressure that came and everything, it was just difficult for him to manage. And I don't know what Sancho is facing as a player, but I feel professionally he was supposed to manage whatever he was facing, not have this sort of fallout with your coach. I
Clement,
mean, it's
Clement, do you agree to what you just said that Sancho was playing very well in the Farmers League? He's calling the Bundesliga a Farmers League. Do you agree to that? And then he's saying the pressure that comes with Premiership, and then with Manchester United. For me, I feel it's the pressure that comes with the paparazzi that brought him to Manchester United, not that Premier League is 10 times or 100 times better than Bundesliga. So do you agree that Bundesliga is a farmers league?
I know that on competitive level, I know that the Premier League is very highly competitive. But saying that the Bundesliga is a farmers league, no, I don't agree with that. I think on this call today, there are many things Emmanuel have said, and I'm not really agreeing to, and I have to really say that
because any day, any time, Bayern Munich would send Manchester United back to the red side of Manchester. What do you think?
we all know AJ. You don't need to troll my team actually. we all know truly that Bayern Munich is a very, very impressive team. And you know, the major thing, let's take Brighton as example in the Premier League. We saw that Brighton every year in, year out, they sell their best players for huge money. But we see that the club is still playing very well. They are doing very well on field and off field. Means that they are a team that is well run. They are the management, the coach, everything. There's alignment. You couldn't even feel it. So a coach as good as what's the former Chelsea coach? Remind me please. His name.
Pochettino.
No, not the present, the former. Um,
Oh,
what's his name?
what's his name again?
Oh,
Bayern's coach now.
no, the guy from
Thomas
Brighton.
Tuchel.
Okay,
Oh,
okay, okay,
okay.
okay. What's his name again? Wow,
Oh,
why is his name escaping my head?
yeah, I don't know, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was sacked recently.
yeah.
You saw that, when the guy was leaving Brighton, everybody was saying, "Oh, Brighton is going to collapse." Now they've lost their coach and all of that, but we can see that they're still doing very well. Meaning that it is
Graham Potter is his
beyond.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Potter.
Grant Potter, thank you very much. So we'll consider it's beyond what the players you have. It means that a football team that is well run, let's say Ajax, for instance, for many years they've had dominance because they are well run, even behind the scenes, beyond what you and I can see, which I think is one of the problem of Man United. You're talking about Sancho, for instance. Look at Bellingham doing very well in Real Madrid. Look at Haaland.
Bellingham from ManU, Manchester United.
No, Bellingham from
From
Dortmund,
Dortmund.
where we
Okay,
bought
yeah.
Sancho as well. Look at Haaland came from what you're calling Farmers League, with all due respect, and he's banking goals and so you can see that. I think it's more about the player personality.
Yeah, even KDB played in Wolfsburg at the
In
time. Yeah.
Wolfsburg, yes, so you can agree with that. So I think it's about the player's personality, and over time we've seen that Sancho have had discipline issues at everywhere he's been. He's a good prospect, but for a Guardiola to let a young player go, you should know that something is wrong with the player. So I think it's very important that people around Sancho, they advise him well and talk the truth to him and let him know that, guy, you're ruining your career. And if you must go far in this career that you have chosen, then it's very important that you remain humble. The coach makes a decision, and anything the coach does, you cannot influence it except you're doing it on the field. We see Mbappe, PSG will turn the bank around to keep him because why, the guy is doing the job on the pitch. So I think Sancho needs to drop his ego and do the job as well. That's
Okay.
just my thought.
That's a good one, Clement. So quickly, let's
I'm
look
always
at.
beating Emmanuel on this, so remember.
So let's quickly look at the Galatasaray team, right? We have a former ManU prodigy, Zaha, and he scored the first goal. What would you say about Zaha, about his time in Manchester United? And I think when he was even with Crystal Palace, he was a thorn to the Manchester United defense. Anytime they meet, anytime, any day, anywhere, he's always a thorn to their defense. And he proved himself again
Yeah.
in the Champions League. So, Emmanuel.
Yes. So I feel like Zaha was probably happy playing that match or starting that match because he knew Wan-Bissaka was not going to play. So he was happy that Dalot was going to play that position. So he was sort of confident that at least I feel like I should get something. But I would say aside that mistake from the first goal, Zaha really didn't do much throughout that game. The people that had
Really need to do much? Even when he was at Crystal Palace, right? He really
no.
doesn't do much, right?
No, he
But
actually was.
his
He actually was
presence,
the player carrying Crystal Palace. That was the
his
player carrying
presence,
Crystal
right?
Palace.
His presence alone, whether Wan-Bissaka was there, even before Wan-Bissaka came, other top defenders were there when he left Man U, and he still proved that, yes, I'm still that striker Man U missed by
Which
selling him
missed.
out.
We did not miss anything by Zaha was. Zaha has always been a player with, should I say, temper issues. It was not just direct, and we needed direct players, people that would not take time on the ball, not take time to maybe score and do all those things. He's a good player. He's a good
Anthony,
player.
Anthony, Anthony wastes time on the ball. He'll control the ball, take it to the sideline, and then be turning his leg as if he's
But the
turning.
coach likes him, so that's the coach likes him. So
Oh,
that's one of the
Ibrahim,
things.
Ibrahim, you share the same sentiment.
Saha is a good player also. And he's a fantastic player with a lot of energy. He has played in the Premiership before, so at some point, and he understands the beats of playing against a Premier League club because he has been in that shoe before. So he knows when to use his strengths and when to relax. So, and if you look critically at that match that day, the role he played, I think he did fine. So, and I don't think he has so many chances in that match, and the few ones he had, he utilized them. So he's a fantastic player. That day, it did fine.
Clement, would you share the same sentiment?
Yeah, I think Zaha is a very good player, and you see, over time, Zaha was one of the last players signed by Sir Alex Ferguson, and we all know that Sir Alex was a very good coach, and during his time, he has one of the best executive directors in Man United history in David Gill. So you know that the club was well run. So when we bring in one of the culture that United was actually imbibing during this period was bringing in the best players from the championship. You see that we have players like Saha, players like Powell. These were best players during their time from the championship. But we see over time that you see Zaha was a very
But
good player.
he didn't bring people like Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard,
Oh,
Xavi
no, no, no,
Alonso. He
no,
didn't bring them in during his time. So
no, no, no.
he still did not bring the best players in Premier League.
He
So
had schools
he
and
wants
better
his
players.
hands can his
No,
hand he
no,
wants
no.
his
Joshua,
hands can
Joshua.
be laid on that the ones he got,
It,
right?
I would disagree with you. I think I've been a very I've been disagreeing on a lot of things on this call already. So, but it's the truth. You know why? Because talking about Man United, we all know how dominant Man United was under the watch of Sir Alex
Some
Ferguson,
people
and
said he was paying the ref. He was threatening them with his demeanor, with his influence, with his the Tsar for it to be called the Tsar in the United Kingdom, right? You know, you must have you get. So the
I do
name
not get
alone,
anything, Joshua.
the name alone
I do
carries
not
weight.
get anything.
So
I
I
will not.
so
See, Joshua, it is very important for us to know. This is a man who dedicated over 26 years of his life to a
yeah,
particular
sure.
club. You can agree with me that there's a level of years you can spend something that the environment, the job, everything becomes easy for you because you understand how things are. You will agree with me very well that during the time of Arsenal's dominance, we saw that for many years, Arsenal was always going to the Champions League because why? Arsene Wenger knows what it
I
takes to
beg to
get that
disagree.
done.
Arsene Wenger was a businessman. He was always qualifying Arsenal to Champions League because of the money they're going to get for qualification and then qualification from each stage, right? And then at the end, he goes out to the he goes out to the Europa League, and then for going to the Europa League, he gets money for that, and then he crashes out, right? So I think Arsene Wenger is a businessman.
No, 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 Joshua. I think Arsenal fans will not forgive you for what you're saying, and I think it's very unfair because if you have an Arsenal fan on this call, I'm very sure that they will not agree with you because every team, and every fan wants to win something. Every fan wants to win something, and in order for them to win, they would not nobody wants their team to go out of the competition prematurely. So it is very vital and important, that we all know that every team strives to win. If Arsenal doesn't win, it means that probably they couldn't, but But what I'm just saying is that every club, for every club to progress, you have to have everything in place. Look at this season, for instance, for ManU. There have been so many talks around the sales of the club. So there's so many unsettlements around the club.
I think Clement is a passionate ManU fan. Let's look at the first goal against Onana. Let's look at the build up to that and see whether Onana has a fault here or Dalot has a fault. So this is it, right? Yeah, this is it. Can you see this? So who is at fault here? Who is at fault here? Is it Dalot? Is it Onana? Or both of them are at fault? And this is the same Zaha you guys sold out. Manchester United sold out, right? So he's scoring against his former club. And let's even see his celebration. Yeah, I think I like his celebration. This is true. This is it. This is Zaha taunting Manchester United. So what do you have to say about this?
See. First of all, I feel like that goal was caused by everybody at that back. First of all, Dalot, I feel like Dalot should have done better in terms of positioning and maybe at least trying to put up Zaha, but he allowed Zaha to take control in that box. Then Varane also did not come back to sort of assist him. Varane was expecting, you are going to stop him, and he was just standing there until he was shocked. Then for Nana, I mean, how would you? It jumped so early. I feel like the ball was not fast. If you take it back. I want to show you the point where he jumped.
Okay.
So
Okay.
okay, good. See, the ball bounced. Why didn't he move back before jumping? He had time to move back a bit before jumping.
Can you take the replay back a little? Please take the replay back a little.
Look,
From here.
go back
a little. Go back a little.
Back. Yeah.
Look at this. From the past, men looking at the guy that marks Zaha, the closeness was not there. If you want to off a player, give him that distance to off the player. If you want to mark him, give him that close marking. So he was not too sure whether to keep him off or to go close to him. And if you know Zaha very well, he's the kind of player that has a very good pace. Anytime he sees an opportunity, he utilizes with his pace. So I think that was what happened here. I think it was Dalot that was trying to mark him. He gave him a lot of space. So he couldn't decide whether to keep him off or to go close to him. So by the time he decides, it has already passed him. So for him to tackle him from behind, it's going to be red-carded.
Red-carded. For me, for me, I think Dalot would have salvaged this situation even before this led to a goal, right? I feel from outside of the 18-yard box, right? He could have maybe tackled Zaha and maybe draw out or cause a free kick from there. Yeah, and I'm sure, I don't know if there's any Galatasaray player that is very good with free kicks, right? Or he would have as Zaha was leaning on him. If I was the one, I would just slip out like an okra, right? And Zaha will fall. You miss out on the ball, and then I get my ball, right? So I think Dalot here is to be blamed, and not Onana. Clement.
Like I've said it before, like there are so many things I'm disagreeing on this call. And truly I'm also disagreeing again. I think for me, I've seen the game. I had seen the video again now. I think Dalot did his job, and I will tell you why. Because he tracked Zaha from right-hand side into that middle. But I tell you, the same problem I said at the beginning was that there was no definite rule. There was no one sitting at that middle of the center half. Because if Casemiro was sitting there, he's supposed to have assisted Dalot in tracking back. But because there was no one sitting at the pivot of that midfield, that was why there was no one who could assist Dalot in such situation. And the two center half, because they were already splitted, because Lindelof was far left, and then Varane was already with the striker. So as Zaha is coming in, one of the midfielders should be in that position as well to assist. Because if the midfielder was there, it's just a block off. Because we all know that Dalot cannot foul him there. He's already the last man. And anything happens, there's a red card, and anything can, just like it happened with Casemiro trying to salvage the last goal that happened with Onana's mistake. So I think it's a midfield problem. To me, I think it was a midfield error that led to that particular goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was empty.
All right. So, would you also, Emmanuel, would you also blame Onana for the second and third goal?
The second goal, not at all. He couldn't do anything. The third goal also, I wouldn't really blame him because I don't think he could. I feel like different keepers have different way of handling situations. For me, I feel like for the third goal, he could have still come out to like put the player off, not just stand there. If you stand there and you wait for the player to come to you, there's no way the player was going to. He has the opportunity to score. But when you come out, the player will have to try to shoot immediately or find a way to bypass. And it was a 50-50 stuff. So I wouldn't really blame him for the second and third goal. I feel like that first goal, with technique, he would have done more. He would have done more. He shouldn't have just jumped like that. So.
Okay. That's a good one, right? So enough of Manchester versus Galatasaray. Manchester United has a match tomorrow against Brentford. I would like us to predict. First, let's start with the starting lineup, and then let's see. Let's talk about what the scoreline would look like, or the scoreline we are. I would say scorelines we should expect, right? So yeah, because we are four on this score, and then we have different opinions, and so let's see what do you think we should expect tomorrow.
Yeah, so I expect everyone that is watching this to leave their comments on what you think the scores will be. Then after the match, also come back and see if your prediction was right. But for me, I would say it depends. Right now, I feel like if we use Onana, if Onana starts, we are going to concede. So I would say let me see. I would say
let me help
2-1.
you. Let me
Okay.
help you. Let me help you. Let me help you. You say you say 3-1, right? Let me help you.
Yeah.
Let me bring up the match between Manchester United and then and and Galatasaray. Let me bring it up quickly so that we'll see the lineup here, and then you will see that Manchester United has 3 goalkeepers in Onana, and then we have one Alte, and then we have Vite.
Yeah.
So Ten Hag going to the match with 2 extra goalkeepers. Is it that he doesn't trust Onana, or like is Onana that bad? And do you think Ten Hag would maintain this formation? Because yeah, actually Manchester United really did play well against Galatasaray with this formation and the people in this lineup. Do you think he would maintain this lineup and then go to the match against Brentford?
I hope not. Well,
okay.
I hope it does not maintain this lineup. What I would love to see is, my opinion. I would love to see Alte, Bayendier. I would like to see him start instead of Onana, but he might use Onana. So okay, then Dalot can either go to the left and play left back, while Lindelof plays right back, and then they can use Maguire and Varane, or Maguire and Johnny Evans to play the central back. But I feel like he's not going to make lots of changes. So my concern is Amrabat playing that position. It is not a three, and we've seen that he playing there has cost us, even against Crystal Palace and now against Galatasaray. So somehow it's either Dallas is playing that position, or he can even go to our youth team and pick this Fernandez, that left back. The guy is a good player. So Amrabat can now fall a DM with Casemiro for the first time. I would love to see both of them play the midfield for the first time as midfielders.
Okay, so
And
you're saying Aute in the goal post, Amrabat playing 2, Dalot playing 3, then
no. Amrabat's not playing. Amrabat should play 4.
play 4 with Casemiro, double 4.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, they
then
can use double
who should
4.
play 3? Who should play 3 for you?
They
Dalot?
could get, yes, Dallas could play
Then
3.
who will play 2?
Lindelof could play 2.
Okay, so in for 5 and 6 we should have Maguire and Johnny Evans, right?
Yes.
So we have Amrabat and Casemiro as 2 standing 4, or just double 4.
Yeah.
And then for the other attackers, right?
So,
Rashford, Bruno, and
Bruno.
Medjugorje. Do you think they should continue?
Well, Rashford has to start. I hope he gets his scoring form and his confidence. Then Fernandez obviously has to play. I'm not Medjugorje has played well so far in terms of he knows how to hold the ball, he knows how to move, but we really need a right winger to be stationed at that point. I think this affected us in the match against Galatasaray because that place was empty. Medjugorje was going to the midfield, and that means no attack was coming from that side except when Rashford now went to that place to give the assist for his first goal. So in essence, I think Rashford should play, Fernandez should play, then Anthony might not start because he's just coming from the challenges that I had. So they can use Mesri. But if I were to be the coach, I would use Martial to play left wing, Rashford to play right wing, Fernandez to play the 8 or 10, then Northland should strike. So with that way, we have 3 attackers, not just midfielders everywhere. We need people that can actually score.
Clement, do you agree to that lineup? He has been disagreeing since morning, so I'm sure he would also disagree.
You want to disagree?
Clement will always disagree.
I'm sure you might have to actually rephrase your question. Because using the word agree or disagree, I always disagree. So it's not.
Okay, so what do you think
even though
Manchester United would be, and what do you think the scoreline would be? Ima said 3-1. In favor of who, Ima? Is he in favor of Manchester United?
Definitely.
Okay.
For me, I think
what's the scoreline? What's the scoreline?
Mane said 3-1.
3-1 in favor of Manchester United. Yes, we'll surely concede. So
okay, Clement,
for me, I think it's a very, very, very tough match. Over the years, Brentford has been a very, very tough team to play because they are a very physical team. They are very physical and they play area balls a lot. So I think it's vital here for me. I think Ten Hag will not really make so many changes, and I'll tell you why. Because you have to agree with me that ManU have been a victim of injury this season, which has disrupted the team for many, many games. And so I think now that he's having the players back, I think he will want to build a core of players that he wants to actually be his team. So which is actually one of the problems. So whether he's still losing or not, he might still have to stick with majority of those he believes that should be in his first 11. So for me, in this game, I'm looking at probability of Maguire coming in for Lindelof. Knowing fully well that this is an area team. Maguire is a very good area player. I think he's very good at
Yeah,
that.
a very good area player with a lot of on goals history. Yeah.
Don't
It's
disrespect our Maguire.
yeah. I
Please.
think
I'm not.
it's obvious that it's obvious that Joshua is not a Man United fan, and I can see that the rivalry of where he supports is really coming to play
I'm a
now.
fan of good football. Yeah, I'm a fan of good football, not what Man U is playing at this time. Okay, so
Yeah.
what do you think your scoreline? What's your prediction?
For me, I'll go for 2-2.
2-2. Wow, you're
So
modest.
let's see your lineups. You've not still said it. We want to see what your lineup will look
Okay,
like.
so my lineup will be that we have Dalot on the right, we have Varane, we have Maguire, then we have what's it called? We have Amrabat. You see, have Amrabat where he's playing. We have Casemiro sitting deep, while we have Mount and Fernandes up front, and then we have Anthony from the right, Rashford from the left, and then Højlund.
Okay, so who should be in the goalpost?
Onana retains the goalpost. £52 million player. The coach trusts him. That's why he bought him. So I believe.
So because he was bought for £52 million, so he needs to pay. He needs to work for his money.
It's not the same coach that bought Alte.
No.
It's not the same coach that bought Alte.
Now, Emmanuel, the same coach bought Alte, but he only bought Alte as a backup goalkeeper. Now, I tell you, where you know if and when a coach trusts a keeper is that even in our last game, which was a League Cup game, Onana started, meaning that there's something Alte is not doing in training. We know which was the problem with Sancho. So if you're not performing in training, it means that the coach thinks you're not match, you're not fit for the
Ibrahim,
they always started League Cups too. So
okay.
It's just Man U's way.
All right, 2-2 from Clement, 3-1 from Ibrahim in 2 minutes.
So I think the match is going to be a tough one because from the past Manchester United have lost 3 games to a London-based club. So I think it's a very good competitive match that is going to take place. So it's going to be tough. So I expect few changes in the lineup. The likes of Lindor, I think it should start Maguire in that defense. So I expect Madrid not to start. Maybe she just try Machia on the right because from the last game of Galatasaray, there is no much crossing from the right wing to the striker. So you should try another option on the right wing also. And I also think Mount, he shouldn't start him. So there should be a replacement for him as well. That's just my own opinion. Then
Okay,
Onana
so what?
still retain the goalpost. So
Oh, wow.
definitely.
So finally, Onana is
If
blocked.
Manchester United is going to try another keeper in the Premier League, I think they should start from the Championship first. If the second keeper should start from the Championship, then we'll see his ability. Then if he's able to prove himself beyond reasonable doubt, he can start the Premiership. But Onana is still retaining his goalpost. So for me,
okay, so what's your scoreline?
2-1.
In favor of who?
Manchester.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibrahim. Thank you very much, Ibrahim. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, Clement. For me, I would say I'll just give the scoreline. It would be either a 1-0 in favor of Brentford or a 2-1 in favor of Brentford. So this is me. I'm a fan of good football. Thank you very much for your time today.
Tell us
We'll see
one
you next
score.
time.
Give us your prediction. You cannot be telling us that you are sitting on the fence. No, give us your prediction.
My prediction is 2-1 in favor of Brentford. Thank you very much, guys.
Oh, finally, you've really shown your color.
We'll see you next time on the Fans Banter. Thank you for having us.
We'll definitely meet after the match to see what has happened, and then we can see where we'll go from there.
All right, guys.
All right,
until
guys.
Next time.
See you, EM. See you, IB, and AJ. See you.
Yeah, bye, guys.
Bye, bye, guys. Bye.